Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I'm doing this video because for me, I'm a NASCAR fan as well. I know I've done nothing but post college football and Madden NFL stuff, but I'm also a NASCAR fan myself. And seeing earlier today the news of Kyle Busch passing away at 41, like, it's crazy on seeing that. Like, he is easily one of the best NASCAR drivers, and I was hoping he would stick around NASCAR just long enough to do at least one season with his son Brexton in the Cup Series, because, like, if you have a chance to be in the same sport with your own son, with your own child, of course you're going to take that opportunity. I mean, for example, in the NBA, take a look at LeBron. He's playing alongside Bronny right now. You take a look at WWE with Rey Mysterio, who originally teamed up with his son Dominic Mysterio. Now he's been on an on-again, off-again feud with him over the past few years. Don't know if that feud's ever going to really end, but that's beside the point. And Kyle Busch being in the Cup Series in 2005, and one NASCAR game I do have is NASCAR 06 Total Team Control, the first year he's in the Cup Series for Hendrick Motorsports, taking over the number 5 for Terry Labonte, in which that Hendrick Motorsports just put Terry Labonte in the number 44, which was his original number in Hendrick. But it's just crazy seeing how Kyle Busch passed away, and from what I've seen, it's from like some serious illness that must have started off as a sinus cold that he had up at Watkins Glen at the last points pain race, and it just got worse and worse. But Kyle Busch just was able to hide it well enough. And the fact that Kyle Busch raced for like 3 of the top teams in NASCAR's entire history, started off with Hendrick Motorsports. Basically kind of got shafted when they wanted to sign Dale Earnhardt Jr., which sucked because, with that, although I think at first there might have been some rumors about Jr. signing with Joe Gibbs Racing, the team Kyle Busch would go and sign for eventually, because Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a fan of, at the time, Washington Redskins, and I'll still call them the Redskins for the time period they were in, because, I mean, if you watch my Madden series, I still call the Washington Redskins the Washington Redskins. They weren't the football team yet, they weren't the Commanders yet, they were still the Redskins. So yeah, Joe Gibbs was head coach of the Redskins, won 3 Super Bowls with them. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a fan of the Redskins, so you figure that would be a good match, but due to Jr.'s family tragedy and Rick Hendrick's family tragedy for Dale Earnhardt Jr., his dad dying in the 2001 Daytona 500, and for Rick Hendrick, his son, and I think a couple other family members passing away in a plane crash in 2005, right before the fall Martinsville race. Like, that made a bit good pairing right there, and Kyle Busch went and signed with Joe Gibbs Racing, where he had his success, his 2 championships in 2015 and 2019, and I'm pretty sure Kyle was probably glad to win that championship in 2019 to prove to anyone who doubted him, who hated him, that he could win a championship in a full season, because 2015 he had an exemption because of him getting an injury. I think he broke his leg, or something in his leg, maybe his ankle, in a crash at Daytona in the Xfinity Series, and he went on to still win the championship, and partially because of his teammate Matt Kenseth taking out Joey Logano at Martinsville that year, because Kenseth was trying to win at Kansas, Logano took him out. That's all a whole different story right there. But it's just Kyle Busch, he was one of my favorite drivers to watch, especially growing up. Number one, seeing that being a kid and being someone who does like eating a fair bit of candy, seeing him take candy sponsored cars to victory lane, you know, and that was a good thing about the partnership with Mars and M&M's for quite a while at Joe Gibbs Racing. And with that partnership ending, that's why he went to Richard Childress Racing. Even though they didn't have the best of equipment, especially since the team had been on a good downhill slide for like the past decade, but Kyle Busch was able to get a win last season, I think, so things were starting to probably look up for him. He just won the Truck Series race Friday, and it's just crazy knowing that Kyle Busch isn't here anymore. It's going to be crazy knowing that he's no longer racing and it wasn't by his choice. I mean, his brother Kurt also retired. Well, his brother Kurt retired because of him having concussions, having injuries that was out of his control. So he had to retire. But at least Kurt's still around, and all I've got to say right now, as well as my prayers go out to the Busch family, his teammates, his co-workers, because it's going to now be a tougher season for everybody, because now everybody's racing with the emotion that Kyle Busch is no longer there. You lost a competitor. You lost someone that, even with the equipment that he was in, not being the best anymore, he was still trying to push everybody to their best, try to push everybody to their best abilities. And he was a competitor through and through. He probably felt something was off, but the competitor he wanted to still keep competing. And with Kyle Busch passing away in the middle of the season, I think last time a driver actually passed away in the middle of the season probably was Dale Earnhardt Sr. If someone can correct me in the comments, please do, because I most likely am wrong on that, but at least in the NASCAR world, I think it's Dale Sr. I'm counting NASCAR and ARCA being two different things, so the whole Blaze Alexander thing, that's ARCA, but it's going to be a rough season for everybody now, with Kyle Busch no longer being here, and my prayers and my condolences go out to his family, to his co-workers, to Richard Childress Racing, Joe Gibbs Racing, Hendrick Motorsports, people who believed in him from the beginning, to his dominance, to the end of his career. And it's just crazy on that being the situation, that he's no longer here, he's no longer with us. And I guess now I can kind of talk about this. I just lost my stepdad a couple weeks ago due to cancer, so I'm still mentally reeling from that. And coming home this evening, seeing that Kyle Busch has passed away, going from a personal loss to now a loss of someone I enjoyed watching on TV, gone as well. It's going to be a bit rough for me, but I just got to keep moving forward, just pray for their family, because I can understand what they're going through, losing a family member that you love so much to just out of nowhere, because my stepdad, he passed away from cancer, and that cancer, once it hit, just sent him on a downhill slide that just basically just completely took him out with everything he had going on, like he stopped eating, he stopped drinking water, and he passed away a few weeks ago. We just had the funeral Monday, so still dealing with that, dealing with this too, And every time I see like a person that I remember watching growing up passing away, I always double check to make sure it's true because the internet's the internet. But it just it just personally hurts seeing that because over the past few weeks I've been seeing a lot of other famous people in the world of sports passing away. You had Ted Turner, you had Bobby Cox. I think I saw Charlie Morton pass away. Like there have been so many like athletes and people that have been in sports just passing away, and it's starting to hurt too much that it's starting to become numbing. And that's the sad thing to say because I mean I know at the end of the day we're all gonna die. We're all gonna pass away. But just seeing like this person and this person and this person and this person, it gets to a point where it's like, when will this stop? You know? And hopefully I won't have to hear about someone big and famous in the world of sports passing away again anytime soon, but prayers go out to his family, my condolences go out to his family, his co-workers, everybody that's been part of Kyle Busch. So I will say this, I will go ahead and end this video, and I will see you all next time.